Where am I here? I get confused. All right, here I am. So anyway, the second time I met Gert DeLong, this was about in the 90s. I better not tell you that story, so I'm gonna come. I don't think I'm gonna talk to you about that one, okay, Gert? Remember? So anyway, when I really got to know Gert was in the 90s. I got to go ahead and teach PE out at Willow Creek, and I don't want to diminish my relationship with any of the teachers and the staff out at the Willow Creek. They were all women. They were great. They were very helpful. They were fun to be around. But Gert, she had I really, really enjoyed Gert. She, in my heart, she was right there. I just remember how gracious she was. She was, and she is awesome. One of the nicest and most sincere people I have ever been with. The words expressed in her nomination that ended up in the newspaper, now here Enterprise, say it best. And I'm going to read the words. There are those within our midst whose contributions do not relate to position, power, or possessions, but rather are exemplary by exhibiting personal traits and ties together the threads of our social fabric. That's what Gert did. That's what Gert does. But I want to touch on what's in the program, once again articulated by Frankie Rogland, and it touches on Title IX. When the girls finally got a chance to show their stuff. ABC News interviewed a former player. Her name was Jeannie Lesko. Thought that to be interesting that her name was Jeannie. Anyway, she currently works to this day with the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League Players Association. She keeps the memories of those female baseball players alive today. She travels the country promoting the game she loves and inspires young women. That's her passion. The reason I'm bringing this story to your attention is because when I watched that movie back in the early 90s, you guys seen the movie A League of Their Own? Yeah. Huh? I watched that movie. I was working with Gert at the time. I was so impressed with that movie with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis. All I could think of was, that is Gert. Gert is one of those ball players. So I bought her the movie. And she still has the DVD, I hope.
She does. She tells us all about it.
She tells you all about it. Well, that just reminded me so much of Gert. So anyway, this Jeannie Lesko, who actually did that, she was interviewed, and she says this. See if this reminds you of anybody in the room. This is what Jeannie Lesko says. She was a senior in high school and a bat girl for the local men's team. When she was told women were still playing professional baseball, she says this. It was scary. I'd never been out of state. I drove up with my sister's old DeSoto, got to the field and saw all these women, just like in the movie. About 100 of them trying out for the league. As a shy 18-year-old girl, Lesko was caught off guard by the uniforms and the new surroundings. She says, I saw these girls in these little short skirts. And I didn't even know what they were before I got there. We didn't have TV in our home, and I had no way of seeing any pictures of them. I never wore dresses to school. I always wore jeans. I really felt very naked when I went out on that field, but I said, if they can do it, I can do it. You see, I like to think of Gert as my friend. I don't get to see her every day like I used to, but anytime I see her, she lights up my day, and I'm sure she does the same for you. Remember when I told you that story that I wasn't going to tell you about the second time I met Gert? I'm going to tell you. So she may not remember this. But it was back in the early 90s, and there was a wedding reception of some kind at the Ontario Armory. And Melissa and I had gone. We were recently married. Anyway, the music was really good, and the dancing was quite lively. And after a fast-paced dance with none other than Gert DeLong, I laid a big old smacker on her, thanking her for the dance. Remember that, Gert? Well, Melissa certainly did, because when I sat back down, she said, what is it with you and older women? So if you don't mind, Wayne, I would like to escort your wife up here, and I might want to steal a second kiss if you don't mind.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. I don't remember some of those stories, but I have to believe you. This is really going to be hard for me because I'm so shy and quiet and I never talk. But I'm going to try. Early this spring, when Brian Wolf called me and said he wanted to come out and talk to me, I said, I didn't do it. He said, oh yes you did. I said, I'm pretty sure Dwayne did it. Trying to think what I did wrong. I didn't see an accident, I wasn't in an accident, and I didn't chum while fishing. And I didn't hide fish in a gallon bag under my coat. Well, Brian was coming out to let me know about being nominated for the Vail Alumni Association Hall of Fame. What a shock, I wasn't in trouble. Thank you, Brian, you made my day. I have so many great memories of Vail High School. I went 2 years to the old high school and 2 years to the old school, new school. Coming from Jameson to the old high school was overwhelming because it was the biggest building I've ever been in. I was late for class a lot because I never could find my locker. And I could never work the combination, so I left it open all the time. One of my favorite teachers was Dr. Quasso. As you know, he was also a great coach. Because of high school, I have made long-lasting friendship with my teachers and classmates. I was glad we could stay in the Vail area so our 4 daughters could also graduate from Vail High School. I want to thank the Alumni Association for all you do in sponsoring scholarships for so many students and for all the hard work you have put in making this a wonderful event. I am very grateful for this wonderful honor, and I want to thank Frank Urogwin for the very nice letter of recommendation. I want to thank my family and friends for their love and support. I want to especially thank Dwayne, my husband, tolerant, amazing, loving husband of almost 62 years, for always being by my side. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without
Well done, Gert. Grandson's going to help you down.